Don't worry, I got you guys. Last week I put out a video highlighting pre and perimenopause, and it got a really good response from you guys. One of the best private DMs I got in response to the video was this: "Hey coach, love the video. I think I'm eating well, I think I'm exercising the right way, and I'm definitely getting enough sleep. Can you highlight how to do each one of those more effectively?" Well, you know what? Yes, I can. So today, let's talk about exercising in your menopausal transition. I would say there are 4 major things that you have to take into account when you're in your menopausal transition. And the first is a proper warm-up. Let's face the facts, our bodies are not exactly what they used to be. And even if you're a fit person, the reality is our bones, ligaments, and muscles are not as elastic as they were once before. So going into any heavy lifting or explosive movements without properly warming up can actually be detrimental to your body. Your warm-up should include low intensity cardio, light resisted movements, core exercises, and mobility work. If you know you're doing heavy squats, do a light goblet squat. If you know you're going to be running hard or running your fastest, do a light jog before that. Make sure you're addressing your auxiliary muscles like your adductors, your abductors, and your low back, your feet, your ankles, your hips. Just ask one of my clients. A lot of them are sweating before we even hit the real workout. That would be the goal, to get your heart rate up and to get your muscles warm and ready before you work out. The second thing you should consider is your frequency. I know I sound like a broken record, but the reality is you are not in your 20s anymore. Even for my most fit female athletes who are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, I do not recommend exercising intensely 6-7 days a week. Now, I'm not saying don't exercise 6-7 days a week, but if we're talking intense exercise where you're pushing heavy resistances, or exercise where your heart rate's closest to its max capacity, if you are not recovering quickly due to your menopausal symptoms, maybe you tune those workouts down to 2-3 times a week. Those other days you could fill with list training if you feel like you need to do something for your own sanity, or you can fill those days with active recovery when you're focusing on something else for your health, like your stretching, your meal prep, your meditation. The third thing I want you to consider is explosive movements. Now, I'm not saying stop doing them completely, especially if you love Olympic lifting and you're trained in that sense. Go ahead and do your Olympic lifting. But be mindful that these plyometric, powerful, explosive movements put a big strain on your ligaments, joints, bones, and muscles. And in this stage of your life, those things are most vulnerable. So be very mindful of the volume of explosive movements you do. Be mindful of the resistance that you're using when you do those movements, and try to program those movements earlier in your workout, directly after your warm-up, when you're your most fresh. The fourth thing I want you to consider to add to your exercise routine is soft tissue maintenance. Stretching, foam rolling, mobility exercises. These things are critical to start adding to your exercise routine as you age. 1, it just keeps you more mobile, more pliable, which can lower the risk of injury. 2, it's good to fill in some space in our workouts. As we take away volume from the high resistance movements that we do, it gives us time to add the low resistance movements. 3, it's gonna help with recovery. A lot of the time when our muscles feel really sore after a tough workout, it's really lactic acid hiding in the cuts and crevices of the muscle tissue we tore during exercise. So self-massaging and foam rolling could be a great way to relieve some of that pain. Now, these are general pieces of advice. They might not work for everybody, but if you've been struggling in this menopausal transition, go ahead and try them. Happy lifting. Stay resilient.